That Star Wars segment.
Man, lots of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got the Star Wars license. They have
Yeah.
multiple studios working on multiple games.
Yeah, what I took away from that package was we've got loads of Star Wars games, and they're all of different types, all different types of genres. We'll have a Star Wars game for you. I don't think we got the information that we wanted on the Visceral game, but we got a little bit of target footage, and we got some artwork. And
There's a lot of pretty
tidbits,
pictures.
Yeah,
I mean-
but they said 2018 for the Visceral one, I think, and it'll be based on an original narrative.
Yeah, well, they sort of laid out the timeline. I was a little surprised to hear that we should expect a new Battlefront next year already.
Yeah.
Led by DICE in collaboration with Motive.
With Motive, yeah.
Which
And
is-
Motive was collaborating with a few of the different studios with that as well. So I don't know if they're a support team for all these different Star Wars experiences.
What will be interesting about Battlefront 2 is the inclusion of a story mode, which obviously a lot of people decried the absence of in the original Battlefront.
It's just like Titanfall.
It's
Yeah,
just like Titanfall.
And it came out recently on an investors call that they were working on a story mode for the first Battlefront, and they left it out at the last. Well,
to make
time.
make it in time for the new movie,
So
right?
that will be included in the sequel, which is what everyone wanted.
Yeah. Jade Raymond's quote was, "They've been listening to players. They're adding more of what you want, including content from the new films." Which sounds cool. But I think that also means they're going to add that single-player campaign. That fans have been asking for.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, what I got was, hey, we're working on a lot of Star Wars. You're going to love it all, but none of it's really ready just yet. So, I mean, we did see the Bespin DLC for Battlefront. Lando Calrissian. I don't know if you noticed, but
I did notice
spotted him in there as well. So yeah, that's coming, and it looks cool. For the rest of the stuff, I'm really interested to see. Visceral's thing looked cool, almost like a Wild West kind of setting.
Well, that sounds awesome, right? So 2018.
Yeah.
Man, they emphasize that they're giving us a new Star Wars story with new characters.
Right.
Yeah.
So at a different, was Visceral the one that was at a different time period? Or was that
no,
Respawn?
then there's Respawn, set in a
Right.
different Star Wars era that we haven't seen before.
Because the
That we haven't
Visceral,
seen
based on
before.
the footage that you saw in the package, there was like First Order banners that kind of look like Nazi banners coming down the walls, and there's this character in the foreground in the trench coat. So it looks like it takes place around the time of the new films. But yeah, there was very little detail. But I did like the fact that they said that we're trying to create something new but familiar, and they've got Doug Chang involved, who's a VP at Lucas and has been art director on a lot of Star Wars projects, working on the prequels and obviously The Force Awakens. So it's nice they've got that consistency going into the game as well. This is the guy who's defined the look of Star Wars for the last 20 years. And he's working on that game. That's awesome.
But regarding that Respawn game, I wonder what that means, a different Star Wars era.
Especially because we saw mocap actors.
Oh, yeah, there was a ton of that.
Using lightsabers.
Sticks.
But if you close your eyes and imagine they're lightsabers, so it takes place in a time where Jedi are.
We've explored the world of the films, and we've also explored the past of the Star Wars universe in Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic. So I wonder where could this fall into? The future of Star Wars.
The New Republic.
Not so long ago.
Been there, done that already.
We have a couple questions from Twitter we can pull up now. Remember, you can tweet your questions at IGN, hashtag E32016, just like Brian Hess did. Anyone else noticed during the Star Wars Battlefront behind the scenes, someone had a PSVR headset on?
Yes.
They did say they have some PSVR content coming to Battlefront.
Yeah. There was actually a lot of I think it's probably worth going through all that footage and pausing to see what people are on their computer screens, because I also saw what looked like a trench run, Death Star, so maybe that's future DLC as well.
Maybe that's future DLC.
But yeah, I did see the PlayStation VR headset. I'm sure they're working on something Star Wars related.
I actually noticed a trench run as well, and I looked at you right when it happened, and you were like staring
I love
at
a
the
trench
screen.
run.
Yeah, love a good trench run. I know, the Star Wars license is huge, and I'm sure they're trying to come at it from every angle, and PSVR makes total sense. So
yeah. We have another question we can pull up too. Questions are tweeted at IGN, hashtag E32016. Don Murray asks, how do you feel about the 2018 release of Visceral Star Wars? 2018 does feel like a long ways off.
Conflicted.
But we already almost halfway through 2016.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It'll come faster than you
year's
think.
halfway over. Time flies. We were just speaking about this before the pre-show that we're seeing games get announced closer to their actual release dates, but I think when you have a talent like Amy Hennig, with that pedigree behind her, and you have a Star Wars, you have a brand and a person, you have to put that out there.
If anything, it's just good to have on the map to know what
Yeah.
they're doing, know when we should expect it.
Yeah. I imagine you can't keep that a secret, but why would you want to,
I do have to admit, even though it was like another behind-the-scenes video, just like the music and like seeing the little glimpses of the world, like totally like sort of stirs something within me. And I'm like, oh, I'm really excited about all this stuff.
It was like watching, like you were saying, you want something new, but you want enough of the old to have it familiar. And that's sort of what you feel when you watch them. Like,
that's what
they're in good hands.
That's what The Force Awakens did brilliantly, is blending that nostalgia, but also creating something new. As much as people say it kind of retreads New Hope, it found a really good balance. And if they're creating an entirely new original narrative, take as long as you need on that.
Yeah,
Because it's really high pressure
Like we want it done
thing to do. Yeah.
Star Wars will be in our lives for the next several
Probably
decades.
forever.
Yeah,
probably.
So take as long as you need.
Just get it
I would
right.
I'd rather look back on my Star Wars life and see, oh, that story that came out of Visceral.
My Star
was a
Wars
great
life,
story.
the Brandon Tyrell story.
And possibly
Subtitles.
just putting out there, why it needs to wait, why it gets given that date, is because we've got so much Star Wars across lots of different media.
Yeah.
Maybe it ties up in a way with a comic or a movie or a TV show that we don't even know yet.
Oh yeah, they have so much planned out already that this could be something that ties in really far away.
I can't imagine that corkboard spider web of connections that go on at Disney.
Yeah, Rogue One is this December, and then Episode 8 is next December, 2017.
Yeah.